Hello, hello. Welcome to day 1085 of Connecting the Thoughts. Quote for today is address that bubble of anger within you. Address that bubble of anger, address that bubbling anger that is within you. What are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear, and I'd love to share my inputs on it as well, because this is what it is, right? It's connecting the thoughts. It's connecting how you think, how I think, and how we can connect our thoughts and understand the little things that make life big. So, address that bubble of anger within you is the conversation for today. More on this on the other side of the showreel. Welcome back to the conversation. Quote for today is very interesting. It talks about an emotion that a lot of us see as negative. We see as, oh my God, I shouldn't be expressing my anger. I should hold down my anger. I should behave in a particular way. So address, what I'm inviting you to do today is to address that bubble of anger within you, because yes, you are feeling angry about something. Yeah, and you have held it back because you've been told it's rude to be angry. It's really it's like being misbehaving if you're angry with someone or you show your anger. You need to hold it down. And what happens is that when you're constantly holding down the emotion of anger, it begins to kind of boil within you. Literally, it begins to boil within you, and it begins to settle in your cells, in your memory, in your cellular memory, and then your body begins to hold on to that emotion. And as your body holds on to that emotion, it also begins to settle in as an illness. It begins to create other problems within your body. So anger which is not expressed as I said, continues to simmer within. It begins to kind of impact and influence the way you behave with the people that you're angry with. Although you may not express it, you kind of begin to subtly show that something is wrong in the way you show up for them, in the way you show up for yourself when they call out. It begins to show in the way you present yourself, the way you speak, the way you kind of smile even at the person. So anger unaddressed is a very difficult, it's almost a poisonous emotion to hold within you, because as this bubble grows and grows and grows, it doesn't burst on its own. It literally envelops you within it. It takes you within it. So anything that you're holding on to as anger, it then begins to kind of take over you. It begins to become the way you lead yourself in other relationships too. So you might be angry with someone for something, but then you look at that experience and you look at the memory of that experience and then begin to kind of compare other experiences, other opportunities, other relationships from the same eyes, and then your behavior pattern begins to kind of slowly shift. So the anger then begins to envelop you as though it were a bubble. So that's why what I'm inviting you to do is to address that bubble of anger within you. So yes, acknowledge. First of all, come to a place of acknowledgement that yes, something somebody did make you angry. Stop being in denial of your anger. Yes, if you are angry about something, address it, accept it, and then let yourself have that comfort of knowing that I will not be judged by myself if I am angry about something. It's important that you stop judging yourself. I've been there many times. I still go down that route, and it hurts. It hurts when I judge myself. However, we're human, and we need to acknowledge that, yes, this is what I did and this is how I feel about it. Acknowledge your feelings, validate your feelings. Do not be in denial, do not push them away because you're expected to behave in a particular way. So, have you ever, the question I ask you ever is, have you ever been angry with something and held it back and held on to that anger and not expressed it for the purpose of just being, acceptable, for the purpose of just being the right, behaving in the right way, or to just kind of keep the peace, let's just call it, just to keep the peace in the situation. Hi, Dale. So to keep the peace in the situation, you've not expressed what you were feeling, yet it is within you. It's kind of like I said, simmering within you, and it's boiling within you. Have you ever been in that situation? How did that make you feel? Like, not about that person. How did you speak to yourself? How did you feel when you did that to yourself, when you did not express the anger? So take a moment first to acknowledge your feelings, to respect your feelings. Yes, you might be feeling anger. Respect it. Acknowledge to yourself at least that, yes, I felt angry about it. And sit with yourself to understand why you felt angry about it. And if it's really playing in the back of your mind constantly, then sit with yourself and ask yourself, why did you feel angry about it? What was it that the person did, said, or expected of you that caused that trigger? Because anger is something that is triggered. It's a trigger. It's a feeling that just comes up because of something. So what was that reason? Hey, Perez, long time. So sit up with yourself and ask yourself, what is it that made you feel angry? What did it trigger within you? And what is that unaddressed, unresolved situation within you that has to kind of come to completion? When you sit and kind of analyze what it really was, what the underlying reason was for that trigger, when you address that, suddenly the trigger, or the superficial trigger, then no longer begins to matter, and suddenly you feel slightly calmer. You begin to understand yourself better. Dale, I love the honesty. I have a bad habit of taking my anger out on the wrong triggers. That's probably, and I'm just making a guess, that's probably because there's lots of unresolved anger within you, Dale. So it could be that, there's this lots of unresolved anger within you, which is why anything that comes across as a potential trigger, you just take out your anger and you just kind of burst out. So yes, thank you, the Clippers, for joining us. And we've got Abdur Rahim, who says, do not resist being in allowance. Exactly. Do not resist what you're feeling. Stop putting it under the carpet. Stop brushing it under the carpet and ignoring it because you feel, no, I have to be proper, I have to be prim and proper, I have to behave in a particular way. I'm not recommending anybody to go out there and have outbursts of anger. What I'm saying is to take a step back and sit with your anger and understand why it made you angry, why that situation made you angry. Address why you're feeling what you're feeling, and look at the actual trigger, look at the actual underlying reason. That's why I say address that bubble of anger within you. Do not go yelling, shouting, screaming, and getting angry at the world, but look at yourself, look within and explore, understand, what was it that got you feeling that way? And what can you do about it so that that trigger doesn't work? How do you diffuse that trigger? How do you make more sense out of what's going on? So yes, Dale says, usually it takes someone who is just annoying. Yes, it could be someone who's just annoying. It could be so many things. Just sit with yourself and just kind of find that pattern, because we all run on patterns. So figure out what your pattern is and make a conscious effort to break that pattern, to go within, look deeper, and break that pattern. Stop feeling stuck in life. Let's start moving forward. Let's start moving forward from where we are. Let's let go of that feeling of being stuck where you are. So this is what I bring to the table. Thank you for your participation. Tag a friend who needs to receive this message. Maybe somebody who might come across as short-tempered, or somebody who comes across as they're holding it all within, and maybe it's beginning to impact them. Maybe it's impacting their relationships, their health even. Yeah, when you're constantly holding on to anger, it also begins to impact your health. You begin to feel a lot of acidity within you. Literally, you feel a lot of acidity within you. There's lots of stuff that goes on the biological front as well. When you're holding on and just like holding your emotions within you, it begins to show on your health as well. So stop doing that. Stop being stuck, and tag a friend who needs to receive this message. Share it on your wall. Share it within your friends, peers, and family. And I invite you, the one thing that I invite you to do today is to sit with yourself and look at your triggers and understand, where is this actually coming from? Where is this anger actually coming from? And what needs to be addressed? And on that thought, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so much. Thanks.